The just-in-time supply chain model is broken. The world has spent the last several decades building it. It's cheap, it's efficient, but ultimately it's too delicate. And one packaging plant shut down in China can have ripple-on effects to a cheese slice prices here in the U.S. So we've seen that across multiple products and multiple categories to really, disrupt things. But to go a little bit deeper, so, it's all interconnected, and you start on the farm or even before the farm where fertilizer prices were up 200 to 300% due to higher energy prices, due to Ukraine-Russia conflict, weather events, and labor challenges on farm. Then you look at manufacturers of food products. They've seen labor shortages, high energy costs. They're looking at near shoring because of the geopolitical tensions. So they're now bringing their production perhaps out of China and bringing it to a friendlier market or to Mexico or to the US. And that's an expensive endeavor. Then we're seeing shipping companies. We saw spot rates for ocean freight from China to the US exceed 800% for certain categories in 2021. So that remains a bit of a challenge. Freight, which I'll get to in a minute, is one area where we're seeing improvements, but that's been another issue. Secondary manufacturing, kind of your repacking and further processing, same issues. Labor challenges, high energy costs, nearshoring also occurring. And then finally, we get to the retailers and to the food service operators. And we've seen increased energy prices there. We've seen labor challenges result in limited hours where you have to shift hours lower. We've seen increased costs for packaging and new packaging formats. We've seen just the shift in sales formats for more click and collect, more delivery also having an effect. So that's all just the supply side. And the supply side has been really rattled. But the demand side, which Miriam also touched on, is, people have been pumped with cash. And so we had record high disposable income through COVID. And now that has dropped off and consumers are back to 2008 levels of income. But that shift drove a major increase in e-commerce sales, which were up 30% during the pandemic and accounting for over 8% of sales now. And more consumers are on digital and ordering, and really restaurants are having to embrace that digital. Over a third of McDonald's sales are now through the digital platform. So as a result of all these challenges, the supply chain has been beaten up pretty badly and has done a great job of adapting, but it hasn't been easy. And the key implication here is from all of this supply chain disruption, manufacturers have seen their cost of goods up about 20 to even 50% in some cases. And so we're now in the process of assessing what does the supply chain look like going forward.